who's here with me today? Special guest for the next long time.
Yes, for a very long time.
Welcome to the Ichigo Abroad podcast this morning. This is going to be a special kind of an episode. It's going to be a little shorter today. We're going to do a couple of things. We are going to do a little bit of a welcome, and we're going to discuss kind of what's going on with the podcast. And then we're going to talk about the upcoming Harry Potter knit-along. And then I'm going to let Sophia talk a little bit about her plans for Japan and what's happening and when it's happening and how things are going to proceed from here. So let's get started. All right. Well, I think we'll start out talking about the podcast. If you don't know, I'm Lisa. And I am Saratoga Knitting on Ravelry and Instagram. And this is...
I'm Sophia, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Ichigo Knitter.
Yes, perfect. So, as I said, this is the Ichigo Abroad podcast this morning. And this is actually the last episode of the Ichigo Abroad podcast. Don't freak out. Don't worry.
There's an explanation.
There is an explanation. I've talked about this before, but the Ichigo Abroad podcast really came about when Sophia first went to Japan and she started podcasting in Japan. So that was what the Ichigo Abroad came from. Ichigo actually means strawberry in Japanese.
Yeah.
And it was just a name that she came up with when she was there. So it really doesn't kind of capture what we're each doing now. So we've been thinking about a different name for this particular podcast, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to call it Knitting by the Sea. Because I'm living right now in Marblehead, Massachusetts, and it is a coastal town. So we have the ocean about 2 or 3 blocks from here, as you all know if you've watched before. So I thought that might be a nice name, and it just kind of pulls together what it is that I'm doing now with the podcast and that Sophia will be helping with as well. So that's kind of where we are now. So you'll see a different logo. Sophia's going to draw a new logo for it, and hopefully I'll remember. I'll change. I know I'll still say Ichigo Abroad, but I will be changing the name of the group on Ravelry, and and then we'll change the name of the group as well, or the name of the podcast on YouTube. The link should still will still be the same, but it will have a new name and a new logo. So we hope you are excited about that as we are, and I'm looking forward to it. So that is all about that. If you have any questions, you can always ask me. And as we said, there's no worries. You'll be able to find us using all the same links. That the names will just change a little bit. Okay, let's move on to some knit-along news. This section will be about the upcoming knit-along that we are all involved in. However, I just wanted to show you some more progress on my sweater, because you guys keep me honest on this. So again, this is the Blue Shimmer sweater, and it's a Bohus type sweater made out of Knit Picks palette. It's lovely. It's a top down with a beautiful yoke, and then it's black all the way down to the ribbing, and the sleeves are all black. And I did choose that because I think it really will be stunning when it's finished, but it is definitely tough knit right now. The color work part was easy compared to what I'm having to do.
Color work
is fine. It's easy, but not now. So here we go. I'm actually, as I said the last time, I have both sleeves finished, and I'm probably maybe halfway down the body now. So I'm getting there. I'm really trying to knit a couple of rows on this every day. It's really the only way that it will get done. I have a little challenge actually with Jacqueline Salem of the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast. We met at the Washington County Fiber Tour getaway weekend that Sarah Pomegranate had, and at that weekend, Jacqueline started this beautiful shawl by Isolde Teague, I think. if I remember, and it's full of cables, and she's never done cables before, and she's still working on the edging. It's really gorgeous. She's using some gorgeous yarn for it. But we were chatting the other day, and she said she really liked my sweater, and I said that we'll make a deal. If I'll finish my sweater in time to wear it for next year's fiber tour, which won't be until April, so I have some time. I'm not under pressure now. If she finishes that shawl, and we'll both wear them all that weekend. So she agreed. So I'm working on it, Jacqueline. I'm working on it. So here it is. But actually, the reason why I really brought this, I'm going to put this back in the bag, is because what we wanted to talk a little bit about today was it is almost time. I can hardly believe I'm going to say this. It is almost time for the O-Loops Harry Potter knit along. Unbelievable that it's almost here again. I just cannot believe it. We are almost ready to head off to Hogwarts, and it's year 4. It's year 4 this year. It's the 4th year of Sarah and Lydia of the O-Loops O-Loops group. O-Loops Yarn have put together this knit along. And I've probably told this story before, but when they, I followed them, their shop when they first started out. They really didn't have yarn. They started out, I think it was with some stitch markers. They were just kind of starting out, and they had a small Ravelry group, and I had joined it. I must have read about them somewhere, or I don't really even remember, but I had joined the group, and then she put out, I think Lydia had put out a little shout out to anybody in the group, and she's saying, you know, we're thinking about starting a knit along. Is there anybody who would be interested in being a moderator? And I still remember that day thinking, oh my gosh, should I do something like this? I've never been a moderator in a group before. I don't know, maybe. And then I went ahead and typed in that message and said yes, and push the send button on that message, and that's when it all started. So I was very graciously invited to be a moderator in the O-Loops Harry Potter knit along group, and it has been a crazy wild ride. The first year we didn't really know what we were doing. We didn't know how popular it would be, and there were just so many people involved in it. And there were so many people, but it was a fairly small group. It was small enough so that we really were able to get to know each other through that podcast and through the knit along. It's a 3-month knit along, so it goes from October, November, and December. So there's really time to talk to people and message with them and really bond with them. And the second year it got bigger. Last year it was bigger even than before, and I'm assuming that this year is going to be the biggest so far. It's just so much fun. If you like Harry Potter, and if you like O-Loops yarn, and if you have never tried their yarn, you definitely should.
Yes.
It is one of my favorite go-to yarns to purchase. I love it. I love their color aesthetic. I love the bases of yarn that they use, and they're just the most wonderful customer service. They're the friendliest people you'll ever want to meet. And the groups that they run on Ravelry are so phenomenal. And as I said, there are people on there that I've known now. I've known them for 4 years, which is just really, really, really great. I think there have been some really nice friendships that have grown up around the knit along. So. The knit along starts October 1st, so that's the first day that you can cast on any of your projects. However, Sarah and Lydia this year have set up, they used to have an Etsy shop, and now they have their own online shop called O-Loops. It's at oloops.com. And they actually have pre-orders up for the yarn right now. There have been some, it was a little bit crazy getting yarn in the past, but I think this year they're very well prepared. They know how many they really have a good idea of how many people are going to participate, and they're doing all pre-orders this summer. So you can go ahead and go online right now and pre-order your yarn, and they will be shipping the yarn out, I think, in September. So that you will have all of your yarn and all of your paraphernalia prior to the October 1st cast on date. The yarn is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I know they're going to have a couple of. I think there's yarn up there right now, and I think there's probably another update at the end of this month, at the end of July, and then I think there will be another update in mid-August, and maybe then at the beginning of September as well. But she'll have the information on their website, and you should just go ahead and go and join the O-Loops Ravelry group, because that's really where all the information will come about. In September, probably mid-September to maybe the third week of September, the actual Harry Potter group threads will go up. And I also should say that when you purchase, in order to play for points and for prizes, you need to at least buy a skein of their yarn, but you won't be disappointed at all, and you'll want to buy even more of it. It's just so wonderful. When you purchase your yarn, so if you purchase a pre-order and you've never played before, you're a new person to the knit along, you'll purchase your yarn, and they will sort you into a house. And that will be the house that you will play for the entire time this year. We should be, I think they're going to stick to two houses. There was some switching around last year, but I think this year we're just going to go ahead and stick with your house. So I'm actually the prefect for Hufflepuff House. So you'll see my Ravatar change when we get to that point. We get to that point as well. There will be a single main thread for each of the houses, and that will be where all the main information will be. There are different main projects for each of the 3 months, so there'll be a main project for October, November, and December. And I think probably the most challenging, or the project that would take the most yarn, will actually take place in November this year, so that we all have time to kind of do our Christmas knitting. And I think probably in the past you've been able to do this too as well, but there are certainly a lot of options for you during the knit along to plan your Christmas knitting. So the things that you're knitting during the knit along you can use as Christmas gifts. There's always certainly that option. There are usually some fun non-knitting challenges as well. I'm not sure how many or what they're going to be this year, but there usually are some non-knitting challenges. And there's also usually a Christmas card swap in December, which is really great. You get to send Christmas cards to all your new friends, and usually we maybe do some ornaments or something like that, so you have a little bit of a knitted ornament along. And there are lots of prizes along the way. And in the past we've all done house points. I'm not sure how that's going to work again. They change things up a little bit each year, but as we get closer to it, the rules will be posted, and it will be it'll be very, very clear. It's an extremely friendly group. As I said, there are moderators for each of the houses, and then there are additional moderators who are kind of floaters, and they float around in the different groups, and you will know who's a moderator. And you can ask us any questions, and you can actually ask anybody in the group questions, because there are a lot of people that will have been obviously have been there for 3 years and really are very, very helpful, know what to do. It really is a feel of going back to school, because all of a sudden you're back in those threads and you're like, oh, I haven't seen you so long, how are you doing, what's happening with you? But we're also extremely welcoming to first-year students. We love having first-year students. And if you're going to be a first-year student, jump right in. This will work for the Handmaiden Wool and for Jenny and Devin's community longs. Step right up and get involved in this knit along, and be vocal. It's just so much fun. The more you interact with all of us, the more fun. So hopefully this is getting you excited to join the Harry Potter knit along. It's just the perfect thing to do for the fall, and I myself am really looking forward to it. Last fall was a little crazy for me. I was just in a lot of transition. I didn't actually have a laptop with me. I only had the Kindle, so I was responding and participating using the Kindle, which isn't that great for typing messages. This year things are so much calmer. So I'm just really looking forward to enjoying the projects, and enjoying getting to know all the new people that are coming along. So please feel free to message me if you have any questions about this knit along, and please come and join us. It really is a blast, and you really will. It's hard to imagine that you feel this way, but you really feel like you're at Hogwarts and you're at school, because you're all asking questions of each other, and you're all trying to finish the projects at the same time, and talking about the yarn, and talking about what to choose, and it's a blast. It's really a blast, and you will come along and you'll make some really great friends in this group, and you can come back next year. That's even the better part about this, is that it just goes on, and each year is different, and we have first year students all the time, and it's just a lot of fun. So I really encourage you, and please feel free to message me if you have any questions about it. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. And I think that's it. You had a good time doing it, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and I won't be participating this year, but that's because I'm moving to Asia. So
you'll be a little busy. You'll be
just a little bit busy starting my first, adult job.
You can enjoy us vicariously. You can come in and
Yes.
say
Oh well,
hello.
she keeps me updated. So
You can come in and say hello. Are
Yeah.
you in what house were you in?
Ravenclaw, I think? Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't the same, but that's okay.
But
It's
that's
fun.
why.
Come along and join us. Everyone, I just wanted to pop in. Sophia and I had recorded a last piece of video where she talked about what she was going to do in Japan, but as you saw in the earlier ones, she was yawning quite a bit. Not quite sure why she was so tired that day, but she was yawning quite a bit, and when she uploaded the videos, she forgot that one. So all you have in the other ones are just me talking and talking and talking and no Sophia. So I thought I would pop in here to put an ending to this little extra episode. And basically Sophia has gone to Japan now. So she left yesterday, and she left at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and she got to Japan at about 3 o'clock our time. So she is now in Japan, and she is at the hotel. They have a couple of days orientation, and then they'll be traveling down to Kyushu, where she's going to be living. So she's already gone. It's so crazy. It's hard to believe. But just to kind of reiterate what she was saying is that she's actually going to do, she's not going to do a blog per se. She's going to do a vlog. So she's going to be out and about and doing all kinds of recording and kind of putting up some fun mini vlogs about her life in Japan and what she's doing and what her apartment looks like and what her school looks like. So we'll keep you posted as to what that one's going to be. But I just wanted to say that she made it there. We're all very excited. Thanks for all your good wishes, and I will talk to you soon. And remember, it's just knitting. Bye.